Hey guys, Ron Placone here. First of all, feels good to be back. Some of you guys know I was stranded in Minneapolis for a little while because Nashville, the city I live in, was covered in ice and I could not fly in. But I'm back and I'm happy to be back. And sometimes, by the way, when I'm away for a little bit, my cat gets really clingy for a while. So I'm just gonna let her hang out. This is Lucy. Some of you guys have seen her around. She's been in a few videos here and there, and she's hanging out for right now. So, Rudy Giuliani. I did not really even want to talk about this for a while because I kind of wondered, why are we giving this guy any lip service with what he said? And as I'm sure all of you know by now, he at a Scott Walker event, he said that Barack Obama doesn't love America, and he says he wasn't raised the way we were raised. That's what he said to the audience where he was. And the reason I call this video the Media Let Giuliani Win is because I do think this was truly just a quick publicity stunt. And the media, of course, grabbed onto this and ran with it and continues to run with it because it's a very easy talking point. It's for the lowest common denominator. It's, oh, someone said something bad about a leader. Let's gossip about it. I mean, I really do think they're setting the stage. 10 years from now, we're going to see a headline where it's like, so-and-so called the president a poopy head, and they'll discuss it for the next 72 hours on all the cable news channels. But that's what's been going on. People have been talking about this pretty much nonstop. I mean, the Oscars is going on and stuff like that, but this has really taken up a lot of time on the news sphere, and that's what Giuliani wanted, because a while ago, this guy became a parody of himself. I mean, keep in mind, there was a point in time where Rudy Giuliani was a very, very popular, well-liked mayor across the aisles. I mean, Howard Stern used to love the guy. Even George Carlin in one of his specials gave like a kind of positive shout out to Rudy Giuliani. I know those are just two examples, but those are like two heavy ones that I think speaks to the broad appeal that this guy at one point had. Then 9/11 happened. And I'm not trying to downplay how difficult it must have been being the mayor during 9/11. I'm not trying to do that. But this guy never snapped out of it. It seems like in the 2008 presidential debates, he was talking about 9/11. He'd probably still talk about it every week if he could. And it's nearly a decade and a half later. I mean, he just never, he snapped. He shifted ridiculously far to the right and just became a parody of himself. And now he's doing this quick publicity stunt. And one of the things that he said in there was, you know what, I just want someone that's going to take this in a new direction. I'm paraphrasing there. And he says, Scott, to Scott Walker, if that person's you, I'll support you. If it's somebody else, I'll support someone else, which may have been a little of a subtle hint like, ooh, that someone else is me. So I don't know. I'm not sure if Giuliani is going to make a run in 2016, but I think it is possible. And I think if he's going to, or if he's considering going to, this was a publicity stunt to see, well, let's see what kind of traction this gets, and then we'll take it from there. Because this guy had to do something to have something resembling relevance. And really, it should not have gotten this much coverage because he said an ignorant, stupid thing that made no sense. It was just nonsense. It was just low-hanging fruit. But of course, the media flocked to it, and I think that's what Giuliani wanted, and he got what he wanted. And that's kind of where we're at here. So I don't know what this might mean. I think this might mean he's going to make a run in 2016. But I do think this is just more sensationalism. And now they're analyzing why he said what he said, and he's defending his comments. And I think we're going to see this go on throughout the week even. And all it was, I mean, he said it to Scott Walker's base, so it's not, I mean, he knew that the audience he was speaking to, he wasn't going to get any resistance. I mean, that's an audience where if you bash Obama, they're thrilled with that. That's totally fine. So yeah, it was just a gimmick. It was just nonsense. And Rudy Giuliani probably got exactly what he wanted out of this. And he read the media really well. You give them some low-hanging, high-sugar fluff, to paraphrase Henry Rollins, and they're going to flock to it because that's kind of how our media operates. This is Ron Placone and Lucy. She's still here. She's hanging out on my lap. But this is Ron Placone signing out.